Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another news piece. This one chiefly concerning Ronda Rousey's absence from Monday Night Raw last night, which of course she was scheduled to appear at. We also have some news looking at a big announcement related to WrestleMania on tonight's SmackDown Live, and some earnings that have been made public for some big WWE figures, including Vince McMahon, Stephanie, Triple H, Shane, and of course everyone's favourite, Kevin Dunn. Let's get right into it and take a look at all of the news. First up, it was a big talking point last night when Ronda Rousey did not appear on Monday Night Raw, especially since WWE.com recently published an article which stated that she would appear on every Raw in the build-up to WrestleMania 34, where of course she is teaming with Kurt Angle to face off against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in mixed tag action. That article was swiftly deleted when it emerged that Ronda was not going to be appearing on Monday Night Raw, and she didn't. And everyone kind of thought, why is this? Why has this happened? And then the answer became apparent today when she appeared on The Ellen Show this morning, or this afternoon in UK time. Now, The Ellen Show is shot in Los Angeles, California, which of course is on the west coast of the USA, and Raw last night took place in Detroit, Michigan, which is in the middle, right in the middle of the country, the Midwest it's called, but it's actually a little bit east. Geography's funny, isn't it? Now, presumably then, Rousey's absence is due to the time that it would have taken to fly her out to LA and back to Detroit. Like, it would have all been too complicated is what we imagine. But then there are some reports online suggesting that WWE might have also seen this as a strategic move, thinking that more attention and more mainstream exposure could be drummed up for WrestleMania by having Rousey appear on Ellen rather than on Monday Night Raw itself. And it does make sense when you think about it, because, you know, the people who watch Raw are largely already wrestling fans, and to get the big mainstream numbers in for WrestleMania, you may want to push some of the stars of WrestleMania out into the public eye. Rousey, of course, is already a major celebrity in the world of MMA due to her time as a women's MMA pioneer in the UFC, and so it just all kind of makes sense. But you do have to feel a bit sorry for those fans in attendance in Detroit, since they would have expected to see her make an appearance. In other news, it has been revealed that tonight on SmackDown Live, Shane McMahon will be making a big WrestleMania-related announcement. Now, if I had to make a prediction for this, I would guess that it has something to do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not just because they've been his enemies for what feels like the past 5 years or so now, but because also of what happened at Fastlane, where Sami Zayn accidentally, he deliberately ducked out the way of a Kevin Owens super kick, which then caught Shane in the face, and then Shane broke up two separate pinfall attempts by either man, depriving them of the chance to become WWE champion for the first time in either man's case as well, so you can imagine that they'll probably be pretty annoyed. In other SmackDown news as well, Asuka is expected to make her debut on the Blue brand after, of course, appearing at Fastlane to challenge Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship at WrestleMania, despite being a Raw superstar. They played on that on Raw, where Asuka did appear. She hasn't officially changed brands yet. She had a little promo with Alexa Bliss and then a match where she defeated Mickie James, but I reckon that once she's turned up on SmackDown and challenged Charlotte, it would surely make more sense for her to become a regular member of the SmackDown roster. And finally, last year's salaries for some major backstage figures in WWE have been made public, including Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie, Kevin Dunn, and Triple H. There's some, it's a bit confusing because there's some salaries for performing, like for being a wrestler, like Triple H and Shane McMahon. There are some salaries for backstage roles as well, like Stephanie's the chief brand ambassador and all the rest of it. So let's break it down and have a look at some of those lovely numbers. And let's not try to feel too jealous, even though they're all making a hell of a lot of money from wrestling. Wish I could. WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon received just over $3 million. I say just over $3 million. He actually received $3,087,000. I wouldn't turn down $87,000 alone, so it's probably not just over, but you know, it's all relative. Triple H was paid $650,000 for his role as Executive Vice President, talent, live events, and creative and all the rest, all his various roles, apart from in-ring action, so he was paid $650,000 for that. But for his in-ring role as a performer, he was also paid $1.5 million. Very nice indeed. Stephanie received a total of $2.2 million for her combined role as Raw Commissioner on television and her backstage role as Chief Brand Ambassador, as I mentioned earlier. But the big story here is potentially Kevin Dunn, who received, I mean, this sounds like a lot of money, and it certainly is. He received $2.3 million in 2017, but that's down $2 million or $2.3 million from what he received in 2016. I wonder why that is. I wonder why he's taken such a big pay cut. Well, some very interesting figures there, some very sickening figures too. I feel immeasurably jealous. Now I'm going to go home and heat up some pasta and have that. That's all the news. Quite sad now. Cultaholic.com. Follow me on Twitter at JackTheJobber. Follow all of us at Cultaholic. And check out our Patreon as well, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where there's a system of lovely tiered rewards. And one more thing, never ever forget, of course, to join us.